Good noon, all of you. I hope I am clearly visible and audible to all of you. I am Nikita. I welcome you all to this session on MAH CET. So, this is our first session for MAH CET. Today, we'll talk about vocabulary, particularly synonyms and antonyms. Okay, again, give me a hi, a hello, so that I know that you are here. Right. So, then we'll begin. Okay, I am so sorry. This should be in the beginning. Yes. Good afternoon, Ashish. Hello, Abhinav. Good afternoon, Roosters. Okay, so I hope your CMAT preparation is also going well. We've been having a number of sessions. I hope you've been attending them and benefiting from them. So from today, we begin with some of our MH CET sessions, right? They will go on till the exam happens. So we are starting with vocabulary because I think vocabulary is something that needs time, right? So again, you must be thinking that I keep saying the same thing, but actually the same thing done over a long time bears results, isn't it? So my suggestion to you would be that, see, right now we are in April, we have more than 2 months. So if you haven't, then please start with word power made easy. Okay, word power made easy by Norman Louis. Because why am I suggesting this? See, while let's say a Barron's list, it's more based on rote memorization, and that's why students find it difficult. When it comes to word power made easy, it makes vocabulary much more interesting for you. Some students even say that, okay, ma'am, halfway through we started finding it boring. See, it cannot be as interesting as a comedy movie. That's not possible, right? But if done consistently, if done religiously, it is something that you will find much more interesting than the traditional way of learning vocabulary. So I suggest that you do this, and in fact, you will be able to finish this within 45 days, right? And it will end up adding approximately 1200 words at least to your vocabulary. Okay. Hello, good afternoon, all of you again, those who have just joined us. Right. So, as I always tell you that whenever you are preparing for anything, you should first know the framework, okay, within which you have to prepare. So, if I talk about the MH CET exam, the VARC section there has 50 questions. For each question, you get a +1. There is no negative marking, so that is an advantage to you. You can mark something even if, let's say, you are making a calculated guess, right? Also, instead of 4, there are 5 choices. So there is one additional choice that you have to deal with. So both pros and cons, right? If you talk about the syllabus, so to say, that is what all is asked. You're asked RC passages every year, vocabulary, grammar, parajumbles, and some miscellaneous questions. So it could be critical reasoning in some years. So in some years we have seen critical reasoning questions. In some years, the critical reasoning questions are a part of the logical reasoning section. Okay, and then there are some unique MAH CET question types that we will deal with in subsequent sessions. Right now, you need to know that, okay, this is all that is asked and this is all that you have to prepare for. Now, some of you must be thinking, okay, but this is what I'm preparing for MAH CET. Absolutely. So the syllabus, so to say, it remains common across most of your exams. It's just that some one or two unique things are added in each exam, right? Okay. It's a game. Absolutely, Ashish. That's why I like Vocabulary Builder by Magoosh. Okay, this app. It's like a game. You are absolutely right. It's like a quiz that you are taking. And the best part is that when you get something wrong, it gives you that word at least 2, 3 more times so that that gets cemented in your head. So I really like that approach. Okay, that's why I suggested that. All right. Good afternoon, John. So, this is your framework. Now, if you ask me, see, last year MHCET became messy. Okay, there were 6 slots and there were huge differences across these slots. So, in some slots, vocabulary was easy. In some slots, vocabulary was difficult. Some spellings were asked that were extremely difficult. Right. In some slots, you just had approximately 12 vocabulary questions, whereas in some it exceeded up to 20 also. So huge variations across slots. Right. However, if I have to give you an average based on the other previous year papers also, on an average, you can expect 15 questions from vocabulary out of the 50 that you have. And on the higher side, you can expect about 50%, that means 7 to 8 questions from synonym antonyms on the higher side. And otherwise also, I have seen up to 5 questions usually in MH CET that are of synonym antonym type. Okay, so that's why, that's why we kept a whole session on synonym antonyms. That's it, nothing else. Now, what kind of synonym antonyms can be asked from you? Section wise, what is not given? What kind of synonym antonym questions? You're saying that we should have a bifurcation for this also, that how many questions from RC passages? Is that what you're saying, Roosters? So that is not consistent in most of your exams. That varies. Now, what kind of synonym antonym questions are asked in MAH CET? Direct questions. Find the meaning of this word. Find the word that is closest in meaning to this word, right? Or antonym also for that matter. It could be a sentence-based question. One sentence is given to you. A word is underlined. You have to give a synonym or antonym for that word. Passage-based. So recently, this trend has actually become more common in MH CET, that you are given RC passages. Now, let's say there are 6 questions, 7 questions in that RC passage. Out of these, let's say 2 would be of vocabulary. So, synonym, antonym type questions, right? I have brought some such questions also today. Fill in the blanks. So, here, again, it's a unique MH CET question type and you will see it, right? Interesting question type, this one. How will you ask synonym antonyms through fill in the blanks? We'll see that. And synonym antonym pairs. Again, a unique and interesting question type of MH CET. So we'll see all of these types today, right? Okay. Yes, yes. Last year that was the case, that all the questions were mixed, which actually was a surprise to many of the students. We don't know what is going to happen this year, but yes, we have to prepare for the worst. So you should prepare for both the eventualities, right? Okay. Now, coming to the first question for the day. Choose the word from the options that is most similar in meaning to the given word. A very easy question. Apolitical. Yes. What does it mean? The closest word. Let's see what you say. Fastest fingers first. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So let me write some other such words also. Right. So apolitical and anti-political, they are two different things, right? A is a prefix that means not, right? Anti is a prefix that means against. So apolitical simply means somebody who does not have any political views as such. Right. So, for instance, if I am someone who's not interested in politics, I don't keep abreast of what is happening in the political world, and I don't have any such political views, then I am an apolitical person. Right. Anti-political, I dislike political discussions. I dislike political views. So basically, anti-political is against it. It's a word that is more negative, right? This one is neutral. This is negative. Same goes for these two word pairs. Asocial does not socialize. Antisocial actively dislikes socializing. Okay, asocial simply means, okay, I'm indifferent, I don't care. You want to socialize, socialize, but okay, I don't. Antisocial, on the other hand, I actively dislike socializing. Okay, I am critical of it. I hate it. That is antisocial. Apathetic. Apathetic. I understand that some of you must be relating it to pathetic, but no. Something that is pathetic is just sad and miserable, right? That is pathetic. Pathetic conditions of the people living below poverty line. Let's say if I say that. Apathetic, on the other hand, it does not mean that something that is good. No. It comes from the word apathy. Okay. Apathy and antipathy would be the noun forms. So apathy is not having any feeling. Pathos means feeling. We have discussed this earlier. Pathos means feeling. It also means suffering and treatment. Suffering and treatment. So apathy is when you do not care, when you don't have any feelings towards something, you have a feeling of indifference. That is apathy. Antipathy is no. Anuja, that is apathy, what you are saying, right? Antipathy is active dislike towards something. Okay, when you have a feeling against something, that is antipathy. Okay, and apathetic and antipathetic are just adjective forms of the same thing. Anti-political, mostly used in controversial matters. See, you must have heard it in controversial matters because this is a negative word. So we rarely tend to use it in a positive context, right? That's why probably you are thinking that. So yes, somebody who is anti-political would be actively against holding any political views. And that is a controversial thing. Because again, if you ask me my opinion on this, see, all of us are political in some sense or the other. We might think that we are not interested in politics or not in politics, but politics does affect each and every one of us from the day we are born, right? So for instance, if I am an Indian citizen, the politics of India is going to affect me. If I am a woman, the gender politics around me is going to affect me, right? So politics, then there is class politics. For instance, which class do I belong to? Lower class, middle class, upper class. So politics does affect you. So in a sense, all of us are political, even though we might say that we are apolitical or anti-political. That's just my view. Okay. All right. Now, coming to subversive. 3 is the answer. You are absolutely correct there. What is subversive? Again, this is an adjective. If I say the revolutionary exhibited subversive tendencies, the revolutionary exhibited subversive tendencies. Sub plus vert, and then this IVE to make it an adjective. Subvert is also a word, okay? It's a verb. What does it mean to subvert something? Vert is to turn. Sub means in a way below or upside down. So this is again a political word. To subvert is to undermine. To subvert is to undermine or overthrow. Undermine or overthrow an established authority. An established authority, usually the government. That is called subvert. Okay, so when you do something that is against the government, against the state, basically against your nation, that is called a subversive activity, right? So a lot of activists have time and again been accused of subversion, that okay, this is an act of subversion, you are undermining an established authority, right? So for instance, if there's some time back, Arvind Kejriwal used to sit on dharnas, so that was termed as an act of subversion, that you're undermining the authority of the government, right? So that is subversive. To turn, and here it in a way means upside down. Coups that happen, this is pronounced as coup, right? Coup d'etats that happen, that is what? When let's say a military coup. A military coup, what does the military do there? It just overthrows the government and takes over power. Pakistan has witnessed military coups. So these coup d'etats, both pronunciations are fine. These are acts of subversion. You are overthrowing the current government, right? So this is about subversion, subversive. Now subservient. Subservient is a different word. See, here the root is vert. There it is serve. Subservient. I hope what I'm writing is visible. I'll write it. Let me just clear the screen if that's okay. Sorry. Subservient. Right. So here, serve is the root. Subservient, a subservient person is compliant, obedient, obeys what you say, okay, is very servile towards you. That person is subservient. Okay, it is not, only the prefix is the same, the roots are different, the meaning is different. Okay, so see, we learned so many words from just this one question. That's the power of vocabulary, and that's why I tell you to go for past year questions, because then I want you to go deep into various words. Okay, what does this word mean? Why does it mean not, but this means against, right? What does subversive mean? You should be curious about these things. Now comes a sentence-based vocabulary question. You have to give the opposite of the word or phrase that is underlined in the sentence. Yes. Opposite. Let's see what you say. Okay. You have to give me the opposite of the underlined word in the sentence. Okay. Ashish, Anuja, Sahrish say 2. Others? Come on, be active. No negative marking in the exam also. John also says 2. Krishna says 3. Abhinav and Muskan say 2. So primarily I have got 2. Absolutely correct. 2 is the answer. Okay. We had to give the opposite. What is profanity? See, even if you do not know the exact meaning, no, from the sentence you can actually guess the meaning. So that is why this is called contextual vocabulary. No, you have the context, the surrounding words. So I saw a man with bloodied chin. Okay, so probably somebody had beaten this man. Mouthing. So such man would not, of course, be saying very good words. So profanities are abusive words. Abusive words. Okay, abuse is a synonym here, not an antonym. So 5 cannot be the answer. Secularism is not related to this discussion. This is alien to the discussion, should have been eliminated. Abusive words tend to be offensive words, so this cannot be an antonym. Eliminated again. We are left with 2 and 3. Right? Now, here, piety. Piety. You must have heard the word pious, right? I remember when we were asked to write an essay on my family, there was this sentence that our teachers used to suggest, my grandmother is a pious lady, right? So somebody who's very holy and somebody who's into religion, into worshipping, into spirituality, that person is pious. So piety is something that is good and holy. Right? Blasphemy, on the other hand. Blasphemy. Yes. Yes, profane. Profane is an adjective. Correct, Muskan. It means something that is defamatory. Correct. What is blasphemy? Yes. Blasphemy. If, let's say, you are interested in the politics of Pakistan, the laws of Pakistan, they have a blasphemy law. Okay, so this blasphemy law is very strict. So for instance, if in Pakistan somebody claims that they are God, if let's say tomorrow, if I am a Pakistani citizen and I say I am God, I can be prosecuted for that. Okay, nobody's allowed, no human being is allowed to say that he or she is God. So they have a whole blasphemy law, and this blasphemy law is misused. Okay, so what is blasphemy? Saying something, yes, against the established religion. Correct, Sarish. Saying something against the popular religious views. Saying something against religion or the popular religious beliefs of the time. That is blasphemy. So here blasphemy cannot be the answer. See, of course, profanity is a negative word. So a negative word cannot be an antonym. It's a positive word only that can be an antonym. So the quality of being religious and reverent, reverent is respectful. So that is going to be the antonym here. 2 is our answer. Right? Okay. Yes, Pallavi, against religion, against the popular religious views of the time. Correct. Synonym of profane, yes. Defamatory is one synonym. Blasphemous could be related, not an exact synonym, but yes, could be related. So, abusive could be a synonym. Then what else? Tell me. Profane, profanity. Something that is unholy, that could be a synonym. Disrespectful, that could be a synonym. Yes. So if piety means respect, being respectful, then profane means being irreverent or disrespectful. So these are some synonyms. All right. Okay. I hope this is clear to everybody. Piety is our answer here. Now we can move now. So what should be your strategy for synonym antonym questions? If there is a context that has been provided to you. So for instance, there was a context here, a sentence was given to us, then read the sentence carefully, right? Find out if a positive, negative or neutral word is required. That's something that I did. I told you that, okay, this is a man with bloodied chin. Of course, this person will not be saying very positive words. So this is a negative word. So find out what kind of word is required. Now, because this was a negative word and I had to give the opposite, I needed a positive word. If you went by that logic, negative, 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 3 options are outrightly eliminated, right? Then you can group the options. So I grouped here. No, this is what I did. 1, 3 and 5. I grouped them according to the connotation. You can also group them according to their similarity. For instance, profanities, if you know that they are abusive words, then offend and abuse, they are similar. Okay, offensive words, abusive words, similar. So you can also group according to the similarity of the options and eliminate. Right? So this should be your strategy when it comes to synonym antonym questions. You can get up to 7 questions of this type. So this is an important question type for you. Right? 7 marks there. All right. Now, this what I have done is, so this is based on an RC passage. So instead of taking the whole RC passage, because that RC passage had other types of questions also, I picked up that sentence where this word was mentioned from that passage and just put it here, right? So this is that part, that section. You have to, of course, give the most similar, the word that is most similar in meaning to the given word as it has been used in the passage. Remember, as it has been used in the passage. So let me see what you mark here. Yes, let's see. Read, understand, and then mark. Okay. Good afternoon in fame. A, B, C. All right. Okay. So I've got 1A, 1B, and mostly C's. Okay. So again, I'll first read the sentence. The great news is today's job market is ripe with opportunities if you are willing to take some untraditional approaches. Be open to the adventure of uncertainty and shift your mindset from student thinking to business thinking. Right? So that means it is full of such opportunities. That's what I want to say. So which word actually means full of? You can actually substitute flooded there. It is flooded with. That means it is full of such opportunities. So C is going to be our answer. Now see, in our common usage when we talk about ripe mangoes, ripe fruits, we mean something that is mature, fully grown, right? Here, on the other hand, it meant full of, flooded with. So the contextual meaning can be different, can be slightly different from the literal meaning possible. And that's why reading the context is important. Okay, A will not be the answer. Overdue. Overdue means something that should have happened long ago but hasn't really happened. So we say that such reforms are overdue now, right? They are long due. They should have happened but have not happened. That's not it. So today's job market is not overdue with opportunities. It is full of opportunities, right? So overdue with opportunities, in fact, can go against this meaning. It means again such opportunities should have come long ago but they haven't arrived yet. That also could mean that could be the meaning of overdue here, right? So I hope this is clear to you. B is the answer and C is the answer, not B, not A. All right, clear to everybody? Prepared with opportunities does not make sense that the market is prepared with opportunities. The market holds opportunities for you. Okay, so C is our answer here. Again, if you are finding the session to be informative, go and press the like button. We have more question types coming up. And yes, keep commenting in case you have any queries. You must have seen I reply in the comment section, right? Also subscribe to our channel, goes without saying, right? Okay, so this is a new question type for you. Which of the following pairs can fit in the blank? Now, this is how, through fill in the blanks, synonym antonym questions are asked in MAH CET. Samir intends to buy a dash car next month as he belongs to a joint family. Now, which all words can fit, and you have been given word pairs as options. Let me see what you say. Yes, interesting question type found in MAH CET. Okay. 3 E's, 1 A, others, 4 E's, all right, 2 A's, okay. Confused between A and E, yes? All right, let's see. So everybody agrees that A should come, right? He would want a spacious car because he belongs to a joint family, right? So he would need space. So yes, this was easy to narrow down to. Now, superfluous, does that fit? What does the word superfluous mean? Super, fluo, and this OUS has been used as a suffix, right, to make it an adjective. Super, over, above, okay, that is super, over and above. Fluo, she's fluent in English, right? She has a mellifluous voice. So fluo means to flow. Fluo means to flow. If somebody is fluent in English, it's as if the words flow out of their mouth. Superfluous means something that is over and above what is needed, okay, to the point that it is redundant. So over and above what is needed, extra, redundant, that is superfluous. Okay, I asked her to buy 2 kg grains, but she ended up buying 5 kgs. So she bought a superfluous quantity of grains, something that was not even needed. So this word has a negative connotation. It has a negative connotation, a negative image attached to it. So I won't say that he'll buy a superfluous car, a redundant car. No. A is eliminated. Correct. Superfluous is excessive and more than what is needed. Absolutely correct. Violent monk. Okay. These are words. Acha, this question type, this I have seen in MAH CET, right? These words, they can be asked in any exam. Words are words. They can be asked in any exam out there. Okay, so this is eliminated and we are left with E. That is our answer. Palatial. The word comes from palace, something that's very huge, spacious. Again, so he would want such a car, no? Palatial is a synonym for spacious, and that's why A and C is the pair that we need. What is raiment? What is raiment? It's a very formal term, so you may not have heard it in your daily life. It's not a high frequency word. You would find it in old novels. She was dressed in a raiment studded with sequins. She was dressed in raiment studded with sequins. So raiment means clothing. Raiment is clothing. So I always associate it with raiments because that makes it easy for me to learn it, right? So association helps. So raiment, clothing, raiments stands for clothing. Okay. All right. So A and C is the pair. That is our answer. We saw a new question type that we have seen in MAH CET earlier. Now, another question type that has been seen in MAH CET. From the given words, find the words that are either synonyms or antonyms of each other. See, so here these word pairs, so 1 and 2 could be synonyms of each other or they could be antonyms of each other. So such a flexible question type. So you have to find two words that are either each other's synonyms or each other's antonyms. Let's see what you say. Okay, I've got my first answer. Ashish says E. Nilesh says D. Pallavi E. Okay, quite a few E's I've got. Okay. D is 1 and 3. Exceed and accede. In fact, this is exceed and this is pronounced as accede. Accede. Okay. There's an sound. Now, these are, similar sounding words. You can call them homophones, but they don't mean the same thing. Synonyms is about meaning, right? Antonyms, they're about meaning. So 1 and 3 cannot be the answer. No. Exceed, we all understand when something is again over and above the amount that is needed. Exceed. So I read this word for the first time in my history book. So I remember we were reading about how earlier India had provinces, then they were organized into states when India became independent. Now, some states did not want to become a part of India, they wanted to be independent countries. However, ultimately, many of them, in fact, most of them, they had to accede to the Indian government. Okay, they had to accede their territory. They had to accede their territory to the Indian government. So, accede in a political sense, it means to basically give up a part of your territory, to give up a claim, right? It also has a measure of reluctance. So another meaning of accede, she acceded to Ravi's request. That means she wasn't really happy about it. Reluctantly agree. To reluctantly agree. That is another meaning of accede. Reluctantly agree. Okay, so two meanings, to give up your claim and to reluctantly agree. Correct. Violent monk, Pallavi Jain. Correct, absolutely. Compromise, okay, yes, in a way, yes, but primarily to give up, right? Uh, so, yes, very different meanings. Predecessor and antecedent, on the other hand, they mean the same thing, right? See, pre means before. Okay, this here seed here means to come. So, to come before. This, I think, desier also means to come. So, something that comes before the other thing. Ante, see, this is not anti. Anti is against, but ante is before. This is before, this is against. Difference. So antecedent, something that comes before the other thing, right? So in grammar, for instance, in fact, in grammar, we'll study about something called pronoun antecedent. So what is the antecedent of a pronoun? The noun that comes before it, the noun that usually comes before it, for which, I'm using a pronoun. So for instance, if I say she acceded to Ravi's request, Ravi was persistent, he wanted he wanted the good of everybody, right? So I have used this he for Ravi. So here this noun is called the antecedent because it comes before the pronoun, right? Hope this makes sense. Okay. Agreed to demand. Yes, agreed to demand, that is to accede. Yes. Antecedent, predecessor, they are synonyms. So my answer is E. I hope all of you are with me, right? And so far, if you have any queries, we've covered a number of question types. Anything that you didn't understand, any word whose meaning is not clear, you can ask. Okay. Now, let's practice a little more. So you have again a part of a passage here. Okay, I have just picked up the part. Which of the following is the most similar in meaning to the given word? Yes. Let's see what you say. Okay. We acceded to the petrol hike. Were you asked about it? I wasn't asked about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have acceded. Ashish, I think you've used the incorrect spelling here. The word I think that you're looking for is secession. Secession. And this actually means separation. This means separation. So if let's say some of the princely states, they were separated from India, they are no longer a part of India, that would be called secession of a state, right? So for instance, Crimea, when Russia invaded it, Crimea seceded from Ukraine. Okay. So B, D, that's what I have got. All right, let's see. We are confused between B and D. I was expecting this. Right, that's why I included this. Now, we have some idea of the meaning of redeem, right? Redemption. So, first of all, let's see what the context says, what the previous sentence says. So, if you're feeling exhausted and disheartened at the end of a tiring term, give yourself the opportunity to make peace with the fact that you cannot change your shortcomings. So, you can't change your shortcomings. Thereafter, start deciding how you would like to redeem yourself. So if you can't change it, basically now you have to sort of prepare, in the sense you need to have a backup plan so that you are saved. You are still saved despite your shortcomings. You still sail through. Yes, that's the meaning here. So the word that I'm looking for is rescue and not prepare. Okay, I understand your marking D. I absolutely understand it. But see, what happened here was that both the words were very close. So ultimately, what did I see? That what is the meaning of redeem? So the meaning of redeem, when you redeem yourself, you basically save yourself from your sins. You rescue yourself from your sins. And that is why B is a better fit as compared to D. Make sense? Yes, redeem your coupon, and it's used in an economic sense also. So what happens when you redeem your coupon? You in a way save that coupon from being expired. That is what you do. So that's another meaning of redeem. Here we are talking about that sin wala meaning, right? Saving yourself, or in a way compensating for the faults, compensating for your shortcomings. That is the idea here, right? So save, rescue, these are the synonyms rather than, let's say, prepare. Make sense? Okay. I hope this is clear to everybody. B is the answer. Now, what is dissipate before we proceed? Dissipate. Yes, her anger dissipated. So, did it increase or did it decrease? Her anger dissipated. The clouds dissipated. He dissipated his ancestral wealth. Three meanings. One is to disappear. Her anger disappeared. Then the clouds dissipated, the clouds dispersed or scattered. And when I said he dissipated his parental wealth, his ancestral wealth, that means he wasted it away. He just frittered it away. Right? So, these are the meanings of dissipate. Now, distinguish, shed, I think these you understand, right? Like birds shed their feathers, some organisms shed their skin, right? Distinguish, we all understand. Okay. Dissipate is not exploded, it means dispersed, scattered. All right. Shed, yes. What does shed mean? If you've understood from the context, to basically lose. So birds lose their skin, right? Sorry, lose their feathers. Then some snakes, they lose their skin, right? That is to shed. All right. So let's come to the next one. The next question. Again, this is a fill in the blank wherein a pair of words can fit. Which of the following pairs can fit in the blank? Keep this in mind, this question instruction in mind, okay? Let's see what you answer, then I'll explain this. I'll explain this, Muskan. After this question, we'll discuss this. All right. I have got one response. Copy this link that I have shared. Copy this link. This is a very comprehensive link to all the modal verbs. So it explains in detail the differences, between various modal verbs and when to use can, when to use could, when to use may, when to use might. All of that is explained in this. I find it very comprehensive. Okay. Otherwise, you can use a dictionary also. If you search the word can in dictionary, all of its uses come up. Okay. All of its uses come up as meanings. Right? So C, D, E. All right. That's what I've got. Multiple responses this time. We seem to be divided. This is a tricky one. See, I never said that these pairs have to be synonym pairs. The question instruction never said this. No, they just have to fit in the blank. That's it. These could be antonym pairs also. So, Peter Dash being a part of any workplace gossips or politics. So Peter could like it also. I could say Peter likes or Peter dislikes. Both can fit here. Depends on Peter. So Peter relishes is correct. Peter loathes. Peter dislikes is also correct. So the answer is CD. C is the answer. Is this, I sent it. Just a second. Wait. Here. Is this visible to you? Now, those who said C, very good. Ashish, Pallavi, Makarand. This was a new question type for you. So, Grammar can also help you in these questions. Whenever you have contextual questions, no, wherein there are other words also, it has to grammatically also fit. Fit in the blank means grammatically also it should fit. So, Peter is a singular noun. I need a singular verb here. So, admire does not fit at all. Peter admires होना चाहिए था, right? So, grammatically itself, B is eliminated. Again, rancor is a noun. Rancor is a noun. I need a verb. So, A is eliminated. I'm sorry. And we are left with C only. What is rancor? Rancor. It means bitterness. If you hold rancor towards someone, if your feelings of rancor towards someone, they are feelings of bitterness. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. No, it's not a YouTube link. It's not a YouTube link that I've shared. It's okay. Even if the link is not getting shared, I'll tell you the title and then you can search. Okay, don't worry about it. So you understood why rancor is not the answer, admire is not the answer. Relishes, to enjoy something, loathe, to dislike something. Now tell me the difference between LOATHE loathe versus LOATH loathe. Common confusables. Yes. Yes, bitterness and anger. Correct, Abhinav. Resentment actually. It's a cocktail of bitterness and anger, so it's resentment. Yes, carping is criticizing, correct? So you hold a critical attitude towards that person, correct? Loathe is a verb which means to dislike. We have already seen this here. It means to dislike. Loathe, th, without any, that's an adjective. Without any, it's an adjective. It means unwilling or reluctant to do something. I was loath to leave my mother alone. I was reluctant to leave my mother alone. So LOATH, reluctant adjective. Okay. So in these types of questions, we will not see synonyms. But what is fitting? Absolutely correct, Muskan. LOATH is an adjective, Muskan, not a noun. Okay. Now let's see those auxiliary verbs. So might and may. Might and may. If I have to give a very short answer for this, no, although there is a long answer, then might and may both are used for possibilities. Both are used for possibilities. So then why do I need two words for that? Because might is more tentative as compared to may. Might is more tentative. यहाँ पर higher possibility है, I may come to the party. But if I say I might come to the party, it's a lower possibility as compared to may. So it is more tentative. Also, it is more formal. I hope what I'm writing is not hiding behind my head. Just a second, let me check. So, okay, I'll write somewhere else. Might is more formal and may is less formal. That is another difference between might and may, right? So, another thing, in case you are talking about a hypothetical situation, then you say this might have happened, but it didn't happen, right? So, when you're talking about a hypothetical situation, then in that case, might is better. Another difference, when you seek permission, like you say, may I come in? You don't say, might I come in? So when seeking permission, you use may. So these are some of the differences, right? I still haven't given you a detailed answer. For that, you can read that link. So modal verbs are actually very, very versatile and comprehensive. Okay. And that's why they do require a separate study. Okay. Then next was, just a second. Next you asked about will and would and shall and should. All right. Let's look at those. I'm deleting some of the text. Will, would, shall, should. So first thing that comes to our mind, which is correct also, would is the past tense of will and should is the past tense of shall. but that is not its only use. In fact, would can be used in the present tense also. When I want to make a very polite, I want to ask something very politely. Would you be open to going to a movie tomorrow? Right? So imagine I'm asking something that's going to happen tomorrow and still I'm using would. So don't think that would past tense mein use hota hai. No. Okay. Will, when you want to express willingness, right? So for instance, I will do this, I will wash, let's say, the utensils. So here you are expressing willingness to do something, intention to do something. Okay. Would can also be used in the same manner. So in that sense, they are interchangeable. But would is relatively less certain. Would is relatively less certain. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you, right? I've just told you some of the differences, right? Then shall and should, yes, shall and should we are left with. So shall, it's actually very formal. Uh, I mean, lately you would not have seen a lot of people using shall. Today we use will. Okay, so shall was used earlier. For instance, in shall we dance. So in the first person, people earlier used to use shall. In the second and third person, they used to use will. But now people prefer will. Shall is rarely used. When is it used? In formal context. So for instance, the school shall remain closed tomorrow. So when in a formal context you want to express authority, that is when you use shall. Right? Otherwise, the traditional distinction was shall in the first person, will in the second and third person. Right? And basically now it's still used to express polite requests or suggestions. Shall we dance is a polite request, sort of a suggestion only. Right? Should indicates obligation. I should do this. We should do this. That means you're trying to say that this is the right thing to do. So in that way, they are very different from each other. Except for the present tense, past tense relationship, they are two very different words. Okay. I would like to. Okay. So I would like to attend that session. I would like to attend that session very much. Okay. When you say I should like that. I should like that. This is an informal usage of should. That means you are saying, okay, there's a possibility. I might like that. I should like that. So this is an informal usage. It means there is a probability that you might end up liking it. Okay. And here, on the other hand, you are saying, yes, you're expressing a sort of a willingness. Yes, I would like to attend the seminar. Okay. All right. Can and could. Can, could. They both indicate ability that is there, right? I can come. That means I have the ability. Perhaps I have the means to come, right? I have a car. I can actually come to your place, right? Could is used for requests, for permissions also. Could you do this for me? In that sense, you cannot say, can you do this for me? You are in a way questioning, क्या आपके पास वो ability है कि आप कर पाओगे? So that's rude. Okay. Could you do this is the one that you should use for making requests. I remember, so back in school, one of the students once asked the teacher, ma'am, can I come in? Our English teacher. So she replied and said, can you? So when making requests, it's very informal to use can. Okay. This person should have said, may I come in when seeking a formal permission, right? Or could I come in? If let's say you are making a request. So could I come in? Not can. Can indicates ability. क्या मेरे पास ये capability है कि मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? Can I come in का meaning ये हो जाएगा. Right? Hope this is clear. All right. So we have discussed some of the modal verbs. Trust me, there are more uses to them. Okay. The website that I refer to for this is guidetogrammar.org. Guidetogrammar.org. All right. Hope this discussion hasn't become boring. Chalo. Let's come to our next question then. Either synonyms or antonyms of each other. Tell me, which one will fit? 4 good vocabulary words here. Correct, Muskan. Can and could. What you've written is correct. Let's see. Let's see. Muskan is sure. See, she's saying D is the answer. Violent monk says 2, 3, which is B. Okay. Why so much violence in your name? B, D. I like the name Alone Musk. There was this student, no, who had named himself Alone Musk. B, D. All right. Basically, we are confused between these two. Okay. So 3, that means you feel that 3 can be paired with something. Now, they can be antonyms also, right? Synonyms to mujhe dikhe nahi. When I saw this question, I didn't see any synonyms, right? However, yes, timidity and temerity, they are antonyms of each other. So, D is the answer here. 1, 3. Good. Those who said D, Ashish, John, absolutely correct. Anuja, correct. D is the answer here. Okay. Timidity, when you are shy to do something. Okay. This shyness, this reluctance, this diffidence, lack of confidence. Okay. That is timidity. Temerity is the courage to do something, the guts to do something. She has the temerity to take on the technology world, let's say, right? So, guts, courage, audacity, that is temerity. Okay, so antonym pairs, punctuality and punctiliousness are not the same. So, I hope nobody has said E, good. Nobody has said E, but you said B, 2 and 3. No, temerity does not mean being late, no. So, 2, 3 is not the answer. Punctuality, punctiliousness, they share the root punctus. They share a root punctus. Punctus as a root means point. In fact, punctuation also has the same root. So, punctuality, you are always on time. At the point when you should reach, you do reach there. Timid is yes, weak. Temerity is boldness. Correct, correct. Muskan, Anuja, absolutely correct. Okay. Now, so punctuality, when you are on time. Punctiliousness, when you care about very minor points also. Okay. When you care about, when you're very meticulous, you care about each and every detail, sometimes to the annoyance of another person. So sometimes it's used as a negative trait also, punctilious. So punctiliousness, being meticulous, caring about minor details, okay, minor points, that is punctiliousness. Okay, punctuation, we understand, we are basically putting points in our sentences, different kinds of points, right? So that is punctuation. All right. So you can always relate punctilious to someone or the other in your life. There are such people who care a lot about minor details, right? Some people are punctilious when it comes to cleanliness. Okay, so again, I have picked up a part from an RC passage, just a part, and the word in fact has been highlighted for you. You have to give me the word that is most similar in meaning to this word. Fastidious is punctilious. Yes, fastidious is a synonym of punctilious. Correct, correct. Okay, fastidious, and such people are hard to please. Let's see what you say. Conscientious is when you are very sincere and scrupulous about your way of doing things. So, such people may be fastidious, uh, but they may not be fastidious. Okay. In a sense, yes. In the positive sense, yes. However, when I use it in a negative sense, conscientious is a positive word. Okay, B is the answer. All right. So, we are sure about it. Yes? Others, what do you say? Come on. Just 1 or 2 more questions to go. Come on, come on. Hitherto. Absolutely correct. Until now. Hitherto means until now. Okay. All right. So last question for the day. This is actually a revision question. We did it yesterday or day before yesterday. I told you the meaning of pinnacle, right? So tell me, what is a word that is similar in meaning? Revision question. Pinnacle, punctuality and punctiliousness. Yes, Muskan. See, punctuality is when you are time ka pakka, right? You are, or whenever you are asked to reach somewhere at 4 p.m., you are there either before 4 p.m. or at 4 p.m. That is punctuality. Punctiliousness, for instance, when a guest is coming over, I tend to become punctilious. I care about each and every minor detail that, okay, the vase should be kept just in the right position, the table should be absolutely spotlessly clean. That is punctilious, right? So that's the difference between punctuality and punctilious. Nadir is the opposite. Yes, the pronunciation here is nadir. Okay. And this is the lowest point. The lowest point. Okay. Low is going to be the opposite. I am not looking for opposites. Explore is not related. Anticlimax is not related. Our answer is 4. Very good. 4 is our answer. Zenith. ठीक है? Zenith of success. Remember, I gave this example: pinnacle of success, zenith of success, acme of success, apogee of success. We did all of this: acme, apogee, zenith, peak. Okay, all of these are synonyms. Now, anticlimax. Sorry, power outage. That is anticlimactic actually. See, you've just seen a live example of anticlimax. Climax is a very exciting end to something, right? Anticlimax would be a disappointing end to something. Okay, so that is anticlimax, against excitement. All right. So these were the words for today. These were the questions for today. I hope they helped you. We saw a number of question types. That was my goal, because plain synonym antonyms even you can learn, but MH CET has some specific question types that you need to be aware of. Right. Punctiliousness, yes, when people are extremely meticulous, it can actually be called that. Although we shouldn't use such medical terms loosely. Right. Important, reminding you again. And yes, join us for the analysis of CMAT 2022. It will happen on 9th April at 9 p.m. We will bring a very detailed analysis. That's why we are doing it at 9 p.m. and not just immediately afterwards, right? Because we want to give you a very in-depth analysis. And yes, this is our CAT PI BAT program. You're already aware of this. Our ongoing CAT 22 batch, already aware. Next lecture is on Tuesday. Okay. And it will be on CMAT. It is at 12 p.m. Right? Uh, Either CMAT or MAH CET. Okay, either CMAT or MAH CET. But yes, next Tuesday I am meeting you at 12 p.m. and trust me, whatever I do, it will be relevant for both your exams, because ultimately syllabus is essentially the same, right? If you have any queries, then you can always join this channel. By now you know the link also, right? Welcome all of you. It was fun teaching you, and the electricity is also back. Right. See you on Tuesday now, 12 p.m. Bye.